Is your website actually generating revenue or is it just existing? This is a common problem I see with a lot of businesses where the website is basically just a brochure that sits online. You don't, after building it, you spend the money, you don't do anything with it. It doesn't do anything for your business. You don't know how much traffic you're getting, and you don't know if people are responding to your content. Do they understand your offering? So all the business parts of the website is going unanswered. The questions aren't being answered, and you don't know what that website can do for you. So what I can do for you as Flint and Fuel is to make that website of yours into a digital employee, whereby a customer comes to your site. It's like visiting your shop physically. His questions get answered. Their ideas get filtered into what you do. They instantly know how you help them, what you do for them, and you get the sales process rolling. The marketing, the brand gets lived out through the website. That is not just a static brochure, but a digital employee. So how long does it take you to respond to a new lead? So often that's a question you get in sales training or marketing. And the same applies with your website. If somebody goes into your site and sees what you do and how you can help them, and they put in a query, or they fill in a form, or they send a message, how long does it take you as a business to reply? Sometimes it's quick. Sometimes I see a lot of websites where the query process takes a long time, and you can lose the customer by just taking too long. I mean, in this age where competition in most industries is quite strict and quite tough, the fastest answer normally starts the process and has a better chance of winning the deal. So that's also where a good website with a functioning contact form and where the system that you have in place, whether it's an employee at the back end or an automated response, answers the question of the customer and they can get the answer they want. What happens when someone visits your site at 10 p.m. at night, when everyone's asleep, when your staff has gone home, and someone decides to surf and look for a solution to their problem? What is your website doing for your business? Is it representing your business accurately? Does it tell the person what you do, how you can help them, what the price is, for instance? Or is it just a difficult conversation that that person avoids? When they land on your site, are they invited in? Do they want to find out more, or do they instantly just scroll past it? When it comes to your website, do you need more traffic or better conversion? A lot of times people get stuck on how many views they have, how many visitors they have. But I like to focus on, and this is what I can do for you, is how much business are you getting from your website, from those visitors? How many queries actually convert into invoices, into deals, into conversion in the traditional sense? How much of that interest are you putting into actual money in the bank, in the business? Why do most businesses think they have a marketing problem? I often get this question, and it's something that a lot of businesses don't even think about, especially when they are stuck in operations and getting products out and services rendered. They don't think about the problem of speaking to people, telling people about their service. They either think that it's a sales problem and they either don't have the budget for it, but they don't think about the cost of not having a marketing strategy. And having a marketing problem means you're not outwardly telling people what you do. You're not communicating the benefits, the services you offer, the solutions people can come to you for. You're not telling people about it. And this has a price. You can quantify this any way you like. Most businesses don't even know what they're missing out on. And this is a very important part of a growing business. Again, if you're happy with where you are, this is not for you. If you want to level up, you need to look at marketing. You need to build a brand in terms of the personality of the business, because the better that business personality is, the more loyal people become, the more they'll pay. If you think about the big brands that you like, it's about their personality, their values. It's very human things that normal or that most businesses don't think about. They don't see it as a human, but your customer sees it as a human. So you need to fix that. Here's a question for you. Do you actually know your lead to booking percentage? Now, a lot of businesses measure financial indicators. They measure sales targets. They measure revenue. But a lot of businesses also don't measure their marketing strategy, the actions they take, the results they get. And something as simple as lead to bookings or lead to invoice conversion is an incredibly important indicator of your marketing strategy and how effective is your conversion, taking a person from interest to action. Is your assistant doing sales work manually, or is there work that can be automated? This is also a topic that is very relevant these days with AI coming in and able to replace a lot of the mundane and the repetitive work in a quantifiable manner. And you as a business owner need to look at where you can save time and where you can maximize output. You as a business owner need to know where you can save time and maximize output. This leads to a thinking process and an approach that's different to the normal idea of having someone do it just because they're there. There are functions in the business that can be handled by a person that is much more valuable that a machine can't do. And there are tasks that machines can do very reliably, very efficiently, very effectively. And you need to marshal your resources, take the people in your business and spend them, allocate their time to your customers, because your customers want to deal with real people, unless you sell an automated service. But still, in very few instances will you have a business where customers don't want to deal with people. Most service businesses are people-based, and that is why people are opting for the business is the human side. So you need to look at what is your assistant doing that can be automated. Let me ask you this. What would change if your website responded instantly to every query with relevant information that the customer wants at that specific time? What would happen if your website could anticipate the questions that most people ask and give a correct answer that tells the customer, you know what you're doing, your website is a friendly place to visit, it answers their questions, and they can trust that you can solve their problem? We can do that for you when we look at your website, turning it from a static brochure into a digital employee, and in that way maximize the time spent getting business and not spent trying to get business, follow-up work, pre-groundwork, things like that. We work on stats, we work on the results, we see what the efforts, what the results are of the efforts that we've done, and we see what works and what doesn't, so that we can grow your business.